Excuse me. Do you know where I can find any thread? Oops. Oh. S is the character. Thaco. Come to think of it, I can't remember what Thaco means. I remember that, but I don't remember what mean. Womp womp. The door is locked. You need a key. You require additional key. Locked? Rude. Need a key again. I only have fluid. Hello, eyeball. And tattoo. Can't look at it though. Oh, there's multiple tattoo slots. There's tattoo slots, okay. That's a bit diff. I'm a little worried about how many places I might have missed where the thread is. Or even if it might be on the enemies. Do I need to kill them, maybe? You see Ei-Vene. She's still dissecting the corpse's chest with her talons. The rhythm of the talons reminds you of something, but you can't quite recall what. Watch her, study the motions of her hands.
Updated my journal.
As you study the motion of Ei-Vene's hands, you feel a prickling along your scalp. And then suddenly, you find your vision swimming, blurring, until you are standing in front of a freshly slain corpse, rigor mortis making a mockery of its smile. The number 42 has been stitched upon its scalp. The zombie is lying on a slab, and you have just finished stitching up its chest. You have placed something inside, something that may prove useful if you come this way again. So zombie number 42 has something hidden inside of its chest. Echo. Keep these things safe and wait for my return. Am I Echo? Was the Echo my own past, or am I experiencing somebody else who is Echo? I got experience for the first time. The memory of your voice is an echo, strange and hollow to your ears. You cross your arms in front of your chest, and to your surprise, the corpse does too. After a moment, its hands fall back to its sides, and as it does, the vision fades, until you are watching Ei-Vene's hands make their stitching motions once more. You've regained a memory. Memories can give you additional experience, skills, and may even lead to you gaining something else of value later on. Tapper. She turns, sees you, then frowns. Dumb zombies. She clacks her taloned fingers together impatiently and then makes a stitching motion with her fingers. Find thread and embalming fluid. Bring here. To Ei-Vene. Go, go, go. Wait, can you talk to the workers? The eyes of this corpse are set close together and the eyeballs themselves are slightly askew. One faces to the left, the other to the right. You can barely make out the number 257 traced into its bruised forehead. It looks like the corpse has taken several blows to the head, making the number difficult to read. Don't you get dizzy with your eyeballs facing like that? There is no flicker of understanding in the corpse's eyes. They stare silently off to the left and right. Leave the corpse in peace. So you can talk to them. So that's how you find out which one's named number 42. This heavily stitched corpse is shuffling lazily back and forth between two slabs. The number 506 has been stitched on his forehead, and the side of its neck, and its right arm. In fact, the skin of this peeling corpse has been sewn up with so many stitches its skin looks like a bizarre street map. Examine the stitches. The stitches encircle the corpse, running from its arms across its chest, up its neck, and into the damp mass of white hair. As you follow the crossroads of stitches, you notice someone has jammed a needle into the corpse's forehead. You notice, the needle is attached to a thread sticking up the side of the skull. You could probably unravel it if you had something to cut the thread. Cut it with a scalpel, then pull out the needle and thread. Bad for them, but experience for me. You slice the thread and neatly with the scalpel, then pluck out the needle and pull the stitches out. As you do, the skin covering the forehead peels back to reveal the corpse's chalk white skull, where, to your surprise, the number 78 has been chiseled. Seems you got 2 different designations there, corpse. The corpse stares straight ahead, oblivious. 2 different heads. Or, sorry, numbers. This corpse, 985, has stopped dead in its tracks. Judging from the condition of its left leg, it looks as if some sort of tomb rot or corpse mold has eaten through its knee. The corpse is wobbling unsteadily back and forth, trying to keep its balance. Try and help the corpse balance? You reach out for the corpse's left arm to help steady it. As you grab its arm, however, the corpse suddenly sways to the right, and you end up tugging the corpse rather than steadying it. Chief, you might not There is a crack from the corpse's left leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Its torso strikes the stone flagstones and shatters like a rotten melon. Filth and ichor gurgling from the cavity. To your surprise, no one seems to have noticed the corpse's collapse, and even stranger, the left leg remains standing where the body was, as if at attention. After a moment, the leg falls over with a wet thump. As you gaze upon the putrefied remains of the corpse, you notice that its left arm seems intact. It has snapped from the torso during the fall, and it doesn't appear to have been touched by the tomb rot that had spread through the rest of the body. I wonder if I could make use of that arm. Why would that be? Why would that be useful, sir? Why is that your first instinct? You just went straight for that idea. You were just on it. Gave her the thread and embalming fluid.
Updated my journal.
We're like 600 experience deep already, however much that is. Without missing a beat, Ei-Vene snaps the thread from your hands and hooks it around one of her talons, then begins sewing up the corpse's chest. She then takes the embalming fluid and begins to apply a layer to the corpse. Let's wait. Within minutes, she is finished. She clicks her talons, then turns to face you. To your surprise, she extends her hand and drags her talons along your arms and chest. It's not that I'm not flattered, but... Looks like you have a new friend, Chief. You two need some time together, or... Stow it, Morte. As she traces your arms and chest, you suddenly notice she seems to be examining your scars. She withdraws her talons, clicks them twice, then bends forward and examines some of the tattoos on your chest. Who write on you? Hivers do that? No respect for zombies. Zombies, not playthings. She sniffs, then pokes one of your scars. This one bad shape. Many scars, no preserves. Wait. Her talons suddenly hook into the thread you brought her, and lightning-like she jabs another talon into the skin near one of your scars. It feels barely more than a pinprick, but it looks like she's about to start stitching you up. Let her work? What is she about to do?
My journal.
Max HP +1. Hey! Distressing. The sensation is curiously painless as Ei-Vene begins to stitch up your scars. When she is done, she sniffs you, frowns, then stabs her fingers into the embalming fluid. Within minutes, she has dabbed your body with the fluid, and strangely enough, it makes you feel better. Let her work. This may be the second time in my life I'm thankful I don't have a nose. Ei-Vene puts the last touches on your body, gives you another sniff, nods, then makes a shooing motion with her talons. Done. Go, go. I got a quest reward, and it was I got a freaking HP up. Now that's a lot too, because we don't have that many hit points yet. Admittedly, we have a lot for a level 1 character in a D&D game. Oh, we're level 3, that's why. I'm a fighter? Did I pick my class? I don't remember picking a class. Maybe I missed it on the character select screen. Maybe I have to go back and replay everything I've done so far, which would be pretty easy, because I just have to skip all the dialogue. But, in Fallout, everybody's first character is named, like, None or something, because it's obscure. It's hard to spot that you even can name your character. So maybe I missed the class select screen. This huge corpse is standing silently in the corner of the room, facing the wall. He looks to have been a heavy-set man in his early years, and judging by the condition of the body, he died only recently. The freshly stitched number on his forehead reads 1664. The corpse looks like it is serving as a librarian, for it is carrying a huge stack of books in its arms. Examine the books. The books appear to be old mortuary ledgers, none of them any particular interest. As you search through the text, however, you notice a loose page folded between two of the books. You are suddenly struck with the feeling that someone tucked it in there to hide it. Take the page. The page doesn't look like it belongs with the ledgers. It looks like it belongs in a logbook. The tear is clean, as if with a knife, so you suspect the page was removed on purpose. Oh, is this a list of names? Read through it. You take a moment to read through the page. It's a list of dead bodies brought to the mortuary and logged in the receiving room. All the entries appear to be recent arrivals. Examine the zombie again. Great talking to you. Farewell. This ragged page looks like it was cut neatly out of a book. It is written in a tight, crabbed script. 16537, 5th night. Drunk. Chest wound. Cause of death, mauling. Abishai, that's a new one for me. Collector, pox. 3 commons paid, no possessions. More time. Desiccated corpse causes indeterminate. Age of shell prevents identification. Collector Farod, 3 commons paid. No possessions, stripped. Knife marks evident from dissection. So that's people. So that's the current numbers that people are on. I think. Is it the year or what? No, because they're sequential numbers. So that must be the numbers of the corpses. So this person was stripped by Farod. They don't have any possessions. 5th night. Scarred shell. Is that, oh, scarred, that's me. Cause of death indeterminable. Scars do not appear to be cause of death. Shock, trauma. Collector, Farod, 3 commons paid. Possessions, logged. Fist irons, 13 commons. Middle table, receiving room. Oh, so those are my belongings. The fist irons. That's it. That's all I had. That he didn't take. So I don't have hope of getting stuff from here. Desiccated corpse number 2. Indeterminate age of shell prevents Farod, 3 commons paid. Knife marks evident from dissection, but the dissection was not thorough enough. Copper earrings found lodged in abdomen. Earrings have been locked in southeast preparation room. Have an initiate with the 3rd circle examine its strange markings, like those on contracted worker 79. Is this the woman? Because they're with me in the same load. Earrings in the abdomen. Skeleton. As with previous entries, these shells Farod has brought also show signs of having been prepared. I have asked that Initiate Emmerich launch an investigation into the matter. Furthermore, entry 16542 is one of Farod's gang. I have seen the individual before. I would ask Emmerich to pay heed how the man died. 16542. Are they under this? Yeah, down there. Fifth night, tiefling male. Cause of death, slash marks, discoloration of wounds are consistent with grave rot, ghoul claws. Farad, 3 commons paid, no possessions. So did he kill the tiefling? He knew the tiefling at least. There's definitely gonna be somebody, invariably, because this is how it always goes, that's like yelling in the first video. You're not talking to all the zombies. How could you not know that you can talk to the zombies? I don't have basic empathy or the ability to understand my knowledge versus other people's knowledge as somebody who played the game 4 times and you're going blind. So, let's all appreciate that guy, like always. The smell of formaldehyde emanating from this corpse is particularly strong. It smells like it was applied recently, and with good reason. This corpse appears to be in an advanced stage of decay. Her jaw is missing, and some of the flesh has slid off her skull, revealing the number 1072 chiseled into the bone. I think this one's seen better days. The corpse does not respond to your voice. The fact that it has no jaw may have something to do with it. Either that or simply it has nothing to say.
Psst. You see the way she's looking at me, huh? You see that? The way she's following the curve of my optical bone? Occipital bone?
You mean that blank-eyed, beyond-the-grave stare?
What? Are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me.
I think you and your imagination need some time away from each other.
Yeah, whatever. When you've been dead as long as I have, you know the signals. They may be too subtle for you to pick up on, but that's why I'll be spending my nights with some luscious, recently dead shit while you're standing around going, huh? What's going on? Where's my memories?
This guy's a dickhead. It's great. Whatever. Mort, let's go. It's one of the upsides of not having voice acting is that you can have way too much writing, and you can just heavily commit to, like, every single random zombie has a conversation at or about them. And here I was trying to stealth past them, worried that they'd attack me. The number 1201 has been inked on the forehead of this corpse, and the ink has run down its eyes, cheeks, and jaw. As you follow the ink tears down the corpse's face, you notice it has run into the stitching, sealing the corpse's lips, and has caught on what looks like the corner of a note stuck in the corpse's mouth. Try and pull the note out. The note has mingled with the ichor in the zombie's mouth. If you tried to pull the paper out through the cross stitches, it would tear the paper to shreds. Hacking up the corpse to get at it looks like it will destroy the note. You need to find a delicate way to remove the stitches before removing the note. Yeah, use the scalpel to cut through the stitches. More experience! You deftly slice through the stitches, sealing the corpse's mouth, and the jaw sags open. You carefully pull the note from the corpse's mouth. Despite the condition of the paper, the writing on it still appears legible. Sorry about slicing those stitches, I had to see what was in your mouth. It's the same line Lego she used. The corpse's milky white eyes stare at you vacantly. This is a foul-smelling note retrieved from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Despite its condition, the writing is legible. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you, I know my legal obligation under the terms of the dead contract, but I am prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. I have arranged for this note to be left with my body upon my death. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. It looks like the corpse was too late to prevent the raising. But you notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. It looks like the directions for folding the parchment into a strange pattern. Note, if you're ever capable of examining an object further or performing an action on the object outside of the world screen, a use button will appear on the object on this examine screen. This button allows you to manipulate the item through the dialogues, and if you wish to... Alright, so use is here. This foul-smelling note has a strange-looking diagram inscribed beneath the writing. It looks as if it's instructing you to fold the corners of the note so their points touch the center. There's a series of strange marks in each corner. 1 mark in the upper right, 2 marks in the lower left, 3 marks in the lower left, and no marks in the upper right. So the options are fold the upper right. Oh, there's more. Upper right, lower left, upper right. I take 1, 2, 3 to simply mean do them in that order, right? 1 mark on the upper right. Lower right, lower left. There's still an upper left. Maybe you have to do the 0 one first. So upper left. Upper right, lower left. Okay, did I do them in the wrong order? Upper right, lower left. Upper right, lower left. And then I did the no marks one, the upper left one, last and then first. And it still didn't work either way. How do you know the order then? Remarks in the lower left. Two marks in the lower right. One mark on the upper right. There must be more information somewhere. I'm not clear. Let's read it again, maybe? I don't think it gives me, like, numbers to go off of. The directions to folding the parchment into a strange pattern. Okay, but where are the directions? Notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. But what does the diagram look like? The diagram's just indicating to fold it. That's it. I wonder why what I tried didn't work. I feel like I tried the interpretations that made sense. This corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpses lying there. The number 396 is carved into its left temple, and his lips are stitched closed. You notice the corpse is carrying a roll of bandages in its hand. The bandages look usable. Mind if I borrow those bandages? The corpse continues to stare at you. Try and take the bandages from the zombie. You snake your hand out and take a roll of bandages from the corpse's hand. The corpse doesn't even seem to notice. It continues going through the motions of bandaging the bodies. Examine him again. Yeah, it's just going on without the bandages. Sorry about taking those bandages from you. It's just that I need them more than the bodies here. He does not care. Or even know what's happening. The female corpse is making the rounds from slab to slab in the room. Her hair is knotted into a long braid and looping around her neck like a noose. Someone has stenciled the number 1096 into her forehead, and her lips have been stitched closed. Nice braid. The corpse does not respond. You doubt it even knows you're here. This walking corpse has the numbers 1094 carved into its forehead. Its mouth has been sewn tightly shut, and the chemical reek of fresh formaldehyde hangs in an overpowering cloud around it. Despite the pallid, sunken features and lifeless, milky eyes, it is clear that it was once a handsome young man. So, seen anything interesting going on? The corpse continues to stare at you. Some of the interactions are more unique than others. The corpse is lumbering along a triangular path. Once it reaches one of the corners of the triangle, it pauses, then turns and staggers towards the next corner. It has 965 tattooed on the side of its skull. As you approach, it halts and stares at you. Heh, looks like someone forgot to tell this sod to stop walking the rule of threes. What do you mean? These corpses don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do more than one task at a time. When they're told to do something, they'll keep doing it until someone tells them to stop. This poor sod probably finished some task and they forgot to tell him. Who gives them their commands? Either one of the caretakers here, or else whatever necromancer raised them out of the dead book. Probably one of the caretakers here. They're the ones who need the cheap labor after all. I see. What was that you said before? About the rule of threes?
Updated my journal.
Eh? Well, the rule of threes is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes. Or everything's composed of 3 parts, or there's always 3 choices, and so on and so forth. You don't sound like you hold much faith in it. It's a load of wash if you ask me. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're gonna find plenty of coincidences. I see. Before you said I think that's already done though, isn't it? Before you said someone put this corpse a task, then forgot to tell them to stop. Who gives the corpses these tasks to do? You know, same dialogue as before. So there's different lines of dialogue to make it sound more natural to transition to something as opposed to starting there. Understood. I want to examine the zombie a bit more. The corpse is lumbering along a trail. It halts and stares at you. Okay. So, why are you walking in a triangle? The corpse stares at you blankly. Give them all a chance to speak. They don't. The left side of this woman's face looks as if it was caved in with a club, and her flesh sags in bruised, swollen clumps over her ruined skull. The number 626 has been stitched onto the corpse's right cheek, just below the eye. Nasty wound you've got there. The corpse continues to stare at you with its one good eye. Very well, then.
The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes, her skin paper thin, almost wispy. It's like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been scratched into her forehead with a charcoal pencil. So we have ink, charcoal pencils, stitches, and tattoos. The instrument of numbering varies wildly. I wonder if it's consistent with how high their number is, like the resource of what's available changes. So, doing anything later? The corpse continues to stare at you. Pretty sure I checked everything in this room. And these corpses are gone, so I can't check what their numbers were. I still don't have the key to that. So let's continue forward then. Maybe somebody over here is number 42. I'm kind of trapped in here at the moment. A little bit worried about that, man. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. The number 821 is carved into his forehead, and his lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. So, see anything interesting going on? As you address the zombie, it blinks in surprise. What? Why are you disguised as a corpse?
Updated my journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. He has a peculiar, half-frightened, half-angry expression. Who, you? What you want? Can I cut his mouth open? I'm looking for a way out of here. Can you help me? The zombie doesn't seem to have heard you. He looks you up and down for a few moments, then frowns. What you do here? His eyes narrow suspiciously. You spy on Dostis? Lie. Why don't you tell me what you're doing here before I call the guards? There must be something in your eye that makes the zombie's expression crumble. No, don't call the guards. He looks frightened. Me spy on Dusties. Say what I see. Nothing more. Spy? For who? The zombie falls into a frightened silence. He seems unwilling to say any more. Come on, who are you watching this place for? Hold on. Morte sounds surprised. This Burke must be an anarchist. Posing as a zombie's gotta be a first for those adult sods. Anarchist.
Updated my journal.
Anarchists. They're a faction that wastes their time peeping on authority figures and looking for ways to tear down anything that stinks of order or control. Morte snorts. The anarchists think every Burke across the plains will be free and happy to seek their own truth once the establishment is burned to the ground. They want to establish a new order. No order at all. This is an unusually accurate description of anarchists. Usually it's people just don't know what they are at all. But yeah, it is a rejection of hierarchies. Truth. It indicates whether you're telling the truth or lying, I guess. Oh, you can declare what you think about anarchy. Including that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, or that's a noble pursuit, or that doesn't seem constructive to anyone. Here we go. Here's where I would see the connection to Disco Elysium. That seems like a noble pursuit. Order could use a good tearing down every once in a while. The zombie is watching you both fearfully. He's still silent, but something in his expression tells you Mort's guess was right on the mark. The Anarchist, huh? That who you're watching this place for? To your surprise, the zombie turns away from you. He is starting to glance around fearfully. Never mind, then. What have you seen the Dustmen do?
Nothing. They do nothing. Can't find nothing. Dead. Dead. I can't find nothing. Dead. Dead. Just dead people. Dusties do nothing.
Eyes narrow in conviction.
Still, I watch.
I see. There's something else I wanted to ask you. Do you know someone named Farod? Is that how it's spelled? Farod?
Ballard?
It's probably just his pronunciation being strange, though. I don't know. The zombie frowns briefly in thought.
Me. Here he live in hive somewhere.
He shakes his head.
Not nowhere.
He frowns again.
Dusties very mad. They not like Farod. Farod.
Why don't the Dustmen like Farod?
Updated my journal.
He's a collector. Brings debtors to mortuary. Sells them to dustmen. Brings lots of debtors. Dusties not know where he gets debtors. Thinks he's putting books in dead book.
Don't they want that, though? What?
He's saying this Farod book has been selling lots of debtors. Corpses to the dustmen. That's what collectors do. They gather dead bodies and sell them to the dustmen. Sounds like this Farrod's been selling so many debtors that Dusties thinks he's putting hives in the dead book before their hour's up. You know, killing people.
I'm missing a journal. Have you seen it?
Dunna. Some book peel ya?
What?
He wants to know if somebody robbed you. Probably what happened.
You can just have him translate constantly. I can tell what he's saying the first time, just to be clear. Can you tell me anything about doll?
Scribe.
Drugs.
Old. Yellow.
There's nothing more to be said, I suppose. How'd you get to look like that?
Me good at disguise. Me also good scars. Me wear lots of embalming fluid. Me make good zombie.
The zombie giggles through stitched lips, then taps his head.
Dusty's stupid. Yeah, they're the stupid ones, alright.
The sarcasm is evidently lost on the zombie, who nods eagerly.
Stupid Dusties, me make good zombie.
Doesn't that hurt? He looks at your scars.
I ask you same question. Me, it not hurt much.
Claps his chest.
Me tough.
It's funny to me that the descriptions in between his text have also reduced in grammar, which doesn't even necessarily make sense. How can I escape from here? The zombie grunts.
You can escape through portals.
He waves his hands.
Phew.
Portals? What portals?
Portals.
The zombie waves around the area.
Portals everywhere.
Can you show me one of these portals? He's silent for a moment, then nods silently, as if in understanding.
Why should I help you?
Maybe we could help each other out. What do you want in return?
I need you to get a key from me. Want iron key to Embalmer's room.
All right. Where is this key?
A dusty chit has it.
He points at his eyes. She has yellow eyes. That's the tiefling. Also the only character that we have. Then he makes a motion to his hands that reminds you of a pair of cutting shears. Blades on fingers. This fucking second dialogue option. Why? A dustman woman. With yellow eyes and blades on her fingers. I already met her in the embalming room. Hold on, I'll be back with the key shortly.
Updated my journal.
The zombie squints at you. If you're caught, don't say ain't nothing about me, or me gut you in your sleep. I'll get your damned key, but you'd best watch your threats. You hear me? Okay. Was this door open? Ah, shit. I keep trying to use WSD. Yeah, this was open before. That's the one that's not open yet. Okay, there might still be a 42 down here. Where's number 40? Oh, that's stairs. Hello. That could also be one of the places. I missed those stairs the first time through here. Whoops. I'll come back for the key later. Oh, the third floor. I'm trying to get to the first floor. Maybe the stairs are just like around and I'm just really struggling to spot them. Okay, this took me to the third floor. This seems like a whole thing. Okay, let's look very carefully around the relatively chaotic environment and see if I can spot stairs that I've maybe just missed for this long. Somehow. Somewhere out there must be a way downstairs. Options. Haven't saved for a while. That's an autosave. Trying to make a new save for each episode for a bit. You done. All stitched up. Go. Wait a minute. You make the motion of a key turning with your hand. I need an embalming key. Do you have one? She leans forward, looks at your hand motions, then sniffs. Her hand darts to her robe, then emerges, a key hanging from her wickedly sharp index finger. She flicks it into your hand. Bring back when done. Go. Go.
Updated my journal.
That was easy. Where's number 42 person? Granted, number 42 is a very low number. Have we even seen two-digit numbers yet? I don't remember it for sure. You see the false zombie. You're amazed at the man's disguise. His breathing is so subdued you can barely see it. Greetings. The zombie quickly glances around to see if anyone's watching, then turns to face you. What? Here's that embalming room key you wanted. The zombie's eyes widen, and he snatches the key from your hand. He turns it over, nodding all the while. Good. Good. Now, how do I get out of here?
Updated my journal.
The zombie grunts. You can escape through portals. Phew. Portals? What portals? Portals. The zombie waves around the area. Portals everywhere. Can you show me one of these portals? The zombie nods. You want out, you go to arch on first floor, northwest room. You need finger bone, shape of crook. He holds up his index finger and bends it into a crook. When you have key, go to arch, jump to secret crypt, and can escape from there. Secret escape route. He nods eagerly. You could rush there. Crooked finger bone. Where am I going to find one of those?
Updated my journal.
He shrugs. Must be one around somewhere. Look in storage rooms and upper floor. Maybe there. Very well. I'll check upstairs for this crooked finger bone, then head to the first floor to one of the arches in the northwest room. Got it. Okay, so upstairs first, downstairs later. So if my goal is to ultimately go downstairs, then I can wait until then to look for this woman that's supposed to be there. This seems like the intermediate step.
All right.
Go exploring. Charcoal charm. What? Oop. These are interactive. Junk. Beautiful. Perfect. Might get in trouble if the Dustman sees me? I don't know. I've gone to using mouse look because it's just kind of annoying to use the arrow keys on the right. Dustman request. Hello. Contact the Necromancer responsible for raising contractual worker 42. Ooh. I know he's examined the skeleton before, but I'm certain the initial raising of the body was warped. The worker still responds to commands, but when it has completed a task, it resumes pacing in the same circular pattern it did before. Bell recently informed me that Worker 42 exhibited the same walking pattern when it was a zombie decades ago. There may be a soul echo in the marrow or the skeleton's age may have caused the magic animating him to decay. One of the initiates suggested it may be following an order issued by a higher-ranking Dustman in the past, but I have found no records of such an order. Whatever the reason for its behavior, the matter is to be resolved or the worker replaced. Well, okay. Does that mean it's actually the one downstairs walking in circles? Iron pry bar. That makes me think I should go back down there and kill that one. The corpse's meaty head was clearly severed at some point and hastily sewn back on. Several different sets of stitching, all in various states of unraveling, seem to indicate that the head is constantly being knocked back off and reattached during the course of its work. The number, 79, has been cut into its temple, circumscribed by a fanged circle that appears to have been branded on its forehead. So, see anything let's examine the circle. The fanged circle looks like it was branded onto the corpse's forehead long ago, presumably before it died. It might be a religious icon of some sort, or a rite of passage. You notice that one of the recesses between the inner fangs has a small triangle within it, as if it has some special significance. Interesting. How did that mark get there, corpse?
Updated my journal.
The corpse makes no reply. It looks like it is too far gone to answer any of your questions. I imagine these are references that make more sense when you replay the game. Like, that might be a brand that comes up later, and if you come back here, you're like, hang on a minute, that's what was going on there. Because these are all of the dead of this realm. So they're indicative of any element that they want to introduce from any part of this game, just collectively. It looks to be the corpse of a well-aged, even ancient woman. Aside from the embalming fluid stink, the stitches sealing her mouth, and the number 679 stitched onto her right cheek, it's likely she looks only slightly different now than she did in her final years. So, doing anything later? I just want to see if they'll say anything, but it's the only option they give me. This animated skeleton smells horrible, as if it has been only freshly stripped and prepared. Its jaw and major joints are tightly bound with leather straps, and a rough smock has been thrown over it. The number 1221 has been chiseled into its forehead. Pardon me, have you seen any skeletons walking around here? The skeleton makes no reply. Great talking to you, Bones. Stay healthy.
Wonder if this graybeard will mind if I borrowed his body.
I don't think he's in any position to object. Mort studies the skeleton for a moment, then shakes his head.
Nah, I need a fresher one than this. And something with a little bit more dignity. This one's all creaky and fractured.
And you're not?
Oh, you're a sack full of laughs. Mort glares at you. Besides, you're one to talk, Burke. Mirrors beg for mercy when you're around.
Oh yeah? At least I have all my parts. Mort snorts. You're not quite sure how he managed it without lungs. Let me tell you, Mort, there's nothing more satisfying than walking around, swinging your arms, breathing the crisp air through the lungs. It's great to have a body.
I'll have you know that helping you escape the preparation room has now been added to my growing list of regrets.
Mort snorts again.
I shall let you rot. Some more, that is.
Glad you feel that way. Let's go. Imagine having entertaining writing in a video game instead of, fucking Kingdoms of Amalur. Just, I swear to God, just have characters that are entertaining in video games, please. They had it figured out this early. Like, these characters are great. Just the fucking banter, just the bitchiness back and forth, but it's not like irritating, it's funny. Like, let's see. Also, I noticed that font looked a lot like the, probably isn't quite the same thing, but just I guess that one, the cross inside of the letter reminds me of the zone names in Diablo being labeled as such. I think this was the one going in circles? Or was that down? That was down here. I remember it being in a room shaped like, yeah, it's the one right here. They're only going in circles. That's not 42, but it is going in circles forever. This skull does more damage than I do. I can't loot it or inspect it or anything. I guess there's just more than one that walks in circles. I guess that one wasn't a
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
I guess that one wasn't a skeleton. Just seeing if he has anything more. Well, I guess I was mistaken, but hey, at least I remembered the detail and applied it. That's nice. But I was wrong about the deets. Is that gonna be a staircase? Oh, that does look like a staircase right there. Maybe that's a staircase that goes downstairs once I have the key? Did I try to use the gate at the bottom already? Yeah, so my goal is to go downstairs, and I need to find the crooked finger, I guess. That must be what I need in order to go down that way. Or that way. That might be a staircase, actually.
All right.
Right here? Yeah. That might be the way downstairs, too.
All right.
Despite the corpse's dry, leathery skin, it's clear that this was once a beautiful woman of middle years. Whomever prepared the corpse seemed to take pity on her, sewing her bow lips shut with small, neat stitches and tattooing the number 832 upon her forehead in elegant script. And none of them talk back. They just silently stare at you. So you're not getting much further than your starting observations, really? Still feel like I should save before I talk to the Dustman, but maybe he'll mistake me for a Zombo. The Dustman regards you with a stony gaze. Are you lost? Yes. I will summon a guard to direct you out. Hold a moment. Snap his neck before he can call out, or leave quickly. Leave quickly. The dustman takes a step back, then claps his hands together sharply 3 times. In response, a great iron bell starts tolling throughout the mortuary. All right then. Oh. Well, I am under attack. But he's not very good at fighting back. I don't think they're hurting me at all. Well, it would appear I've gained the attention of the everybody's. Aw, everyone's hostile. Okay, I'm gonna load. Yes, I know what loading is.
All right.
I don't go heavy on save scumming, but losing the ability to walk around and look around just kind of blows. I'd prefer not to. Ah! Ah! You'll never catch me! I'm a sneaky man! Look how sneaky I am! That person's chasing me, stop. There we go. I have rezoned. Does that work? Or is that person still gonna chase after me? Honestly, it might be hard to finish this zone without ultimately raising the alarm. Or I just gotta kill them all before they can do it, I guess. Because, they're just around and they can see me. This skeleton, number 748, according to the number chiseled above its brow, is odd, only in that some of its teeth appear to be false ones made of reddish-brown stone. They're clearly not valuable, however, as its caretakers would otherwise have removed them. I have to ask, why the smock? I mean, it's not like you have anything to be modest about. Great talking to you, Bones. Anyway, examine the skeleton carefully. Someone has taken the care to bind the bones of this skeleton with leather straps, woven around the body in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendons. The straps are secured to metal bolts punched into the skeleton's joints. The skeleton looks like it has seen a great deal of service. Many of its bones are chipped, and its numerous fractures are bound with sealant and foul-smelling glues. Try and pry out the skeleton's joint bolts? Seems rude.
Whoa, Chief, that's vandalism. Those bolts are probably the only thing holding that bag of bones together. Necromancy only goes so far with these old fellas, you know?
Oh, I didn't want to cause any permanent damage.
Oh, it's not a problem.
Morte does a strange bobbing motion that you think might be a shrug.
Just wasn't sure if you knew that or not. By all means, go ahead.
How about this skeleton, Morte? Will this do as a body? Morte studies the skeleton for a bit, then shakes his head.
Nah, I need a fresher one than this. And something with a little more dignity.
And you're not? I have all my parts. Ah, I can breathe. I'm mocking you. Ha ha ha. Try and pry out the skeleton's joint bolts. I hesitated specifically because I didn't want to ruin his body if he gets one. Using your pry bar, you rip the bolts from the skeleton joints. The skeleton collapses, some of its bones still twitching. Sorry about that, Bones. Anything cool come out of this, though? A wooden club. That might be a better weapon. Is an iron spike a weapon? It is. So you right-click to inspect. 1d3 piercing, speed of 1. 1d6 crushing, speed of 4. Is a higher speed slower? 1d3 piercing, speed of 2. Proficiency edged, clubs, not usable by mages. Not usable by priests. Or I might want to use the club for the crushing damage, which is usually stronger against undead anyway, because usually slashing and piercing or whatever does reduced damage against zombies in these games, right? This club is probably a step up for me.